This is Chats with Ryan Trainer from Tassiebushranger and
PJ from Addicted to Grow, and welcome. Hey Ryan, how you doing today?
Good, PJ. Yourself?
Yeah, good, mate. How was your Easter? First of all, let's start there.
Well, very quiet. But it was good. We got on video chats with all the family, 4 of us at the same time. So hardly able to hear what each other are saying with all the kids carrying on and that, but it was a bit of fun. Yeah, and just spent it with my daughter, who obviously 9 months old, doesn't really understand it yet, but was, still good. Her first Easter. How about you?
Yeah, that's really good, mate. And firstly, congratulations. That's a really special moment. And I think to be able to spend this one at home, being her first Easter, what did you feel as in? What did you feel as in that sharing moment? What did you get out of it?
Yeah, quick backstory on that. My wife and I have been trying for a few years to have a baby and had lots of difficulties and lost 2 along the way. So it's been a long journey. So sharing anything with her and watching her learning new things and experiencing new things, I really love all of it. So yeah, it was really good to see her opening presents, because we didn't give her chocolate being so young, but she got books and some blocks and everything. So it was sort of like a mini Christmas, really. So yeah, it was really
Mate,
precious.
That's really awesome, and that's something that I don't know about you yet. So my heart really goes out for you for those special moments. So that's really special, man. That's such a pivotal moment in your life to really, you can't control COVID and what's going on, but to have that moment at home is more than just being able to share it with the rest of the family. Just being at home with her, mate. Good on you. That's really beautiful thing to hear. That actually touched me a lot more than what you think. And yeah. So, all right. So in saying that, I know that you're building a veggie garden. So before we get stuck into our night, tell me about the veggie garden.
Well, the last 2 days, so basically I've built up a little raised garden bed and ripped up 3 by 4 meters of my lawn to put in this veggie garden. And I ordered some soil to load it up, and we're going to get 2 cube meters. Decided I'll get 2.5 just in case. And 1 was probably going to be enough. So I got more than enough. So I've ended up raising it up even higher than I originally planned. So I've spent over the last 2 days, probably 6+ hours carting soil, because it's at the back of my house and soil got dropped at the front. Carting it round, got it all ready. And then, because we got lots of possums and wallabies here, so I have to have bird netting over it before I start doing anything, or it's gone within a day.
Yeah.
So the last 2 days I've been just hanging out for that, and it finally arrived at 5:30 tonight, so too late to do today. But first thing tomorrow, I'll be getting out there, netting it in, and then the broad beans and lettuces go in for my winter crop. So it's nearly done, and yeah, it's kept me busy for a good week or so. So,
mate, good on you. That's really awesome. And at the moment, I'm currently renting, so I can't wait to actually. Well, God knows when the house will come along, but it's in the vision. I can't wait to do that stuff and actually, do that with my boys, which is great. I can still remember my son's first watermelon.
Yeah.
He picked it. He actually picked it when it was this big, because he saw it behind one of the leaves. He picked it. It was only this big, and it wasn't actually big enough. When we cut it open, it was as green.
Yeah.
So, but I've got a photo of him holding it. So that was
cool.
Obviously a classic moment.
Yeah.
All right. So, one of the things that we're unpacking about us as we start to tell our stories, and obviously as the viewers watch us grow as friends and, our businesses, tell me why, or tell the audience why Tassiebushranger? I know you've touched on it before, but what made it come about? Where did you start, and what made you want to educate people?
Well, I'll start with, obviously, Tassiebushranger is to do with the outdoors primarily. And I've always had a passion for animals. Half the books you can see behind me are encyclopedias on animals. of all sorts. And I've still got a book here that was the first encyclopedia I got for my 8th birthday. That's a like 800 and something page encyclopedia with just about every animal discovered. So I've always had a passion for wildlife, and that grew into the outdoors and bushwalking. And the last 4 or 5 years now, I started looking into the more wilderness survival and the going out with minimal gear and surviving, and really getting into that, learning to make traps and all that kind of stuff. And that's when I found a group called Mars Tactical, which is an online organization that do survival. And so that's when I started wanting to document online more through their organization. And that's also when it started off with just the wilderness survival, but they sort of exposed me to the idea of financial survival and happiness survival, I guess, and just really rounding it off, that your fitness, your health, your relationships. And so that's why at the minute, obviously, particularly with a baby, I'm not getting out overnight in the bush and that much. So I'm doing a lot more of the mindset and the health and fitness side, because that's what I can currently do. So that's why you're seeing a lot more of that at the minute. But it is really the wilderness stuff that I have the real passion for, is where it started. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And how long ago was that? How long ago did you start that?
So it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
That I first started doing more of it. And a big part of it as well for me, which I don't want to get too deep into tonight, because it's a few hour conversation itself. But through my late teens and early 20s, I did a lot of drinking, and I smoked cigarettes and weed daily. And I guess lost myself for over 5 years. I would say I solidly was off. And then the last 5 to 7 years, I've sort of been finding my way back, I guess, into this passion. And so it has also been a tool for that, to refocus myself, I guess, and refine what my passions are, because I wasn't doing a lot of it for a number of years there.
That's really good. And you know what, that touches base on, a lot of what stuff's going on still out there, right? So a lot of drugs, and obviously there's worse drugs out there than just marijuana now. For anyone that's watching, is it something that you're like, if people reach out to you and say, how did you recover, or is it something that you want the audience to know that they can contact you?
Yeah, if people want to know, and if they're in the same situation, they want help, definitely something I'm interested in supporting people in. It's something I haven't talked about much on the channel, and something I've sort of been thinking lately I want to start doing some videos on. Because, for example, when I do my run videos and I talk about how people should get fit and healthy and it's good for them, I've been thinking back of me hearing people say that, say 8 years ago, and I wouldn't listen. I'd think, well, you're already fit, so it's easy for you to say. But in telling my full story, that wasn't the case with me. And it really has been only a few years that I've got myself back from a daily smoker to now training for a marathon, which is a big change, obviously. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in supporting other people that want to be doing that.
Mate, that's really huge, to go from a pack a day cigarettes to now training for a marathon. So firstly, I just want to, mate, I put my hands together for you there. Like, as a personal trainer myself, I understand the mental uptake that it would need, and the indomitable will to continue to just keep pushing to train for a marathon. So, mate, congratulations, and that's such a great start. So where do you see then, as you grow and as you start to put yourself out there more on social media for Tassie Bushranger, as you start to educate, the audience on what your visions are, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years or even 12 months in the online space? Where do you see yourself?
So I guess another thing to say on it how I've got to here and why I started the online space was listening to Gary Vee's Crushing It. And he said, you don't have to have got there to start documenting it. Basically, showing your journey is also important. So that's why I started when I did. I was really holding off in my own head. And then I heard that and I thought, well, let's get to it. And so to this point, I think I really have been documenting me trying to work out what I want to do within that space. And
Nice.
I don't know if I have still completely decided. Part of me, now that I've got a much clearer head now, I've stopped drinking alcohol 7 months ago, which was sort of the last addiction that I've given up. Yeah, I would really like to support people with that in the mental health space and in the physical training space. And I think short term, starting to move into that, the personal training, and then moving into the, I guess, mental health side later is what I've been thinking as an option. And I think incorporating the outdoor stuff into that as part of what I do. But
I think
yeah,
that's
certainly there's no concrete plan for it though at the minute.
good. I think that's you outlined a few things there that I'm going to pinpoint. And the first one is exactly what Gary Vee says. You don't need to hit the end point to be able to teach someone else. The journey is just as fun as the outcome, and it's all up to you. So the best thing that you could do right now is literally, showing the audience, sharing with the audience the journey and what you're on, and the ups and downs that you're going to go through. That is the best way to put it. So obviously, as you just said, it's going to evolve. As you go, it might evolve. You might do the personal training stuff. You might not. You might turn into the mental health side. You might go down this avenue. That is perfect for the people, for the audience to watch you evolve as you fall more in love to what lights you up. So in saying that, tell me then, other than your daughter, because I know that for a fact, other than your daughter and your wife and your family, what lights you up about the journey that you're on for you? What lights it up for you?
Well, yeah, family is obviously big and important to me, like it is to everyone. And from there, I guess I obviously like feeling good myself, which exercise does for me, but I do feel even better when I can support someone else in doing that. And yeah, I do get a real kick out of hearing about and seeing people achieve their goals, even if it's nothing to do with me, even if I haven't helped them. I just love hearing the people are achieving their goals and that they're in happy places. And then even more so when I've helped someone achieve that. And yeah, particularly the last year or so, I've been really feeling that one of, I guess now I'm starting to achieve goals. It's great to see other people achieving goals.
That's really that alone there is precious. Watching someone else achieve their goals. That's a precious line, and that really stood out to me just then. So then let's talk about goals. What is one major goal that you're proud of, mentally, physically, spiritually, even in your life that you've achieved that set a foundation for why Tassiebushranger? So what goal did you achieve that almost set the foundation of, I want to help others do that? What goal?
Yeah, I think the quitting smoking and getting fit. When I first started running, I'd literally be doing a 2K walk and I'd probably run 100-meter sections, maybe 200 or 300-meter sections in it. And I felt good after that, and I felt worn out after that, probably 3 years ago. So to reflect on that, and just makes me realize that anyone can do it. I mean, I was obviously being very unhealthy for a number of years. And I think I was at a point where I thought I'd never be fit again, because I had been quite fit and healthy in high school, quite sporty. And I thought I would just stay there and I'd be happy. But I guess the thing was I was in a spot where I was happy, but I was happy doing nothing. And the realization of how much happier I could be and how much more I could do was a big moment for me.
Mm, mm, mm. Mate, that's really good. So that's obviously one of the pinnacle moments in your life. That's good on you, man. Good on you, because that really sets the foundation once again for you moving forward and what you want to achieve. All right, so we've got, a bit of background of why you started, one of the things that you love, the things that light you up, why you're doing it. So if people wanted to reach out to you, Ryan, as we start to wrap this up a little bit, what are some of the ways that the audience can reach out to you, whether it's teaching them how to run, whether it's even just contacting you, maybe even just for a little bit of advice on your background and how it can help them? What's some ways people can contact you?
So there's obviously the Tassiebushranger Facebook page is where I do most of my content. I do use Instagram, but not nearly as much. So they can contact me through there, or even my personal profile is a public profile, and they can always jump on there and add me as a friend, or just send me a message on there straight up. I'm on there a lot, and always happy to have a talk with people. So yeah, through Facebook's probably the easiest way to get in touch with me.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So what would be your famous last words, or what would be a quote that you want to share with everything off?
Not necessarily a fancy quote or anything, but just to be happy and do what makes you happy. It's something, I think I've always been a happy person, but particularly the last few years, doing what makes me happy, and even when things aren't good, just being happy as a default, I think goes a long way. And to do what you love for a job. My dad used to always say to me growing up, and now it's gone out of my head, success is feeling good while doing good at something good. And I think that's always stayed with me. Yeah, I did a video on it recently, actually, on one of my runs. But I think, feeling good while doing good at something good, is a good way to look at your career and life.
Mate, what a beautiful way to wrap up, man. That's awesome. All right, Ryan, thanks so much for your time tonight. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing a little bit more about your story. And obviously for the audience, come and jump in and watch us every week. And these are the stories of the Tassie Bushranger and Addicted to Grow. So stay tuned for the next episode.
Thanks, VJ. Thanks for chatting.
You're welcome.